Bedu Elizabeth Bryant Querit, Nahanku Odana Eyite, Takelma Ella Daminsi Eyite, Tsamch Dapalau Daminsi Eyite. My name is Elizabeth Bryant. I am the lead Takelma language teacher. I am a Cow Creek tribal member, and I am also in charge of our Cow Creek Youth Council. I actually didn't think that I never pictured myself doing this job. I originally in high school was really interested in forestry and doing something outdoors, and I did try it too. I was able to do an internship where I was out on the field doing forestry work and field work like that, and then I know in high school I was interested in learning different languages. I took Spanish, and I was interested in the Takelma language as much as we had available for our tribe. But what really kind of grabbed my interest in this job was after school and starting to experiment in teaching. I worked in an internship here at the EHYC, which is an after-school program. And was able to kind of interact with kids and experience teaching, and I really could see myself doing that. As a young person, I could see myself doing that long term. And so, really I just kind of tried a bunch of different paths and then found this, and it fit what I was interested in. So. I don't know, I like working with the kids and I like teaching. I think it's really interesting to me, and it's always been it's such a yay moment when somebody is struggling with something and then they finally are working on it, and you can tell that they're working and trying to figure it out, and then are finally able to, have that breakthrough moment of they said it right, or the person understood them so that they could communicate, or those are probably the best moments and being able to help that person, whatever it took to get to that point, I would say. People should care about language revitalization because it is another, language is really a worldview. The way we speak English and interact with each other, and the way we talk, and how that is in other languages is different. And so not only does learning another language change your views, and opens your mind in that way of being able to interact with the world in a different way, but it's extremely good for you to be you'll be better at math if you learn another language, and that's not just Takelma, that's any, but language revitalization is really important for tribes and me, because it is the way that those you can see how people were thinking, and our ancestors were thinking, and how they viewed the world, and what those values were really come through in the language in a way that you can't kind of pull just by doing the cultural practices. I think it's good to know, or something people can learn about, or should know about the tribes in Oregon specifically, I think, is the history. And there's so much to be kind of learned about that if you are interested. There's the Rogue River Wars were all specific to the tribes in this area in Oregon, and then what tribes went to reservations and where those were, but also who are the key players in those tribes in terms of getting recognized. All of that is kind of a really interesting history that people can look into for sure. There is, I know for us, like people who are like important in our tribe but have also contributed to the community, and that's pretty typical. Like, you probably know a tribal member who has contributed to the community, and all tribes kind of have that mentality of giving back and how can they support people. And so you've probably interacted with a tribe or tribal members in a way that they were doing something positive. So I started working when I was in high school. I actually worked for 2 years at my local Burger King, so just fast food. And obviously that's, not the best, but it was definitely interesting to work while I was in high school. I don't know if I recommend that to people, but it definitely gave me the ability to kind of learn those skills while I was young, and then have money, of course, and be able to do more things that I wanted and get a car and all of that. So after high school, I knew going out of high school that I was absolutely not ready for college, and that kind of was like the route that I felt like was presented to me. But it didn't fit. So I really just kind of tried as many different things as I could. I did an internship in forestry. I interned down here in our after-school program, and worked at a couple different just like random jobs in the area to try and find something that was interesting and something that I could see myself doing, at least for the immediate future, right? And then I found a job being the Takelma language program assistant. So I was able to do that for a year, and then COVID hit, actually. So we did a lot of stuff online, and then I just kind of grew into this position where I'm in charge of the program now. So yeah, it really started out just kind of trying everything, and then figured out that I really like teaching, and was able to kind of take that and do something within my tribe that felt like it was giving back to the community with the language. And so that's what I've been doing. The Takelma language doesn't have any living speakers anymore. So for me, something that was really difficult was starting out learning a language with no kind of background in languages besides Spanish in high school, and then starting somewhere that was so hard, like even for professionals, learning Takelma at that level would have been hard. But I thankfully had a great team working with me, and was able to really rely on them to do some of the hard work and help me understand how to speak and those kind of more difficult linguistic concepts. But yeah, that was a huge learning curve of just learning how to learn a language, I would say. So my typical week, I have 3 weekly classes that we do at different levels. So like entry level, level 2, and level 3, to build like conversational speakers. And then so that's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. And then Wednesdays, I have classes down here in the preschool as well as down in the after school program. So I'm working with preschoolers and then kids in like elementary to high school level. Then I might have a community class that I'm doing on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday. And so that would look like us going to whatever location, or maybe having some kind of focus around a cultural activity and bringing language to that. Besides that, I take language requests. So people will ask, like, how do I say all are blessed in Takelma? And so I'll translate that for them. I also do advocacy work like this, where I'm telling people about the Takelma language and how important it is. And the rest of the time is spent studying the language and making sure that I'm staying up to date on my language fluency and speaking with my coworkers or family in Takelma. My career advice for anyone, whether you're in high school or not, is that it's okay to not be sure, like, of what you're doing. It's okay to try things, and it's okay to, be committed to only work somewhere for the year because you're giving it a test run. I think a lot of people that are in charge of the other people, like bosses and companies, like to, of course, they like to hold on to people as much as possible, but really I think you get to make your own path and do something that you like doing and figure out what that is by trying things. The reason I learned Takelma is because it's my cultural ancestral language, and that to me is a way for me to connect with my ancestors and know how they were thinking about the world and being able to see kind of their worldview through my eyes and through the Takelma language. So being a Cow Creek tribal member is really important to me. It's definitely a huge part of my, not only my heritage, but yeah, it is a huge part of my day-to-day. Not only is it my job, but it is important to me to bring back cultural traditions. So it's in my house and it's in my family's house. And so it really is a huge connection for me.